Our beautiful sister out there.
It's
Thank you.
okay.
Dr. Good Wisdom.
Yes,
Nice
you're
being here with
welcome. You're welcome. The phone lines will be open shortly for you to ask your questions, just like we did yesterday. But before that, I'll let Demilade take over the session so we can get started immediately.
Okay, thank you very much. So as people age, their health needs become more complex and proper
Yeah.
care becomes even more important.
Mm-hmm.
So today we'll be discussing how to maintain good health in old age and how to better care for elderly people in our society.
Mm.
So let's dive straight into the questions. Doctor, what does elderly health really mean?
All right. Thank you very much again for having me. Um, just like you pointed out, there are two words in that topic, elderly health. Okay, it's basically um, health and then the elderly, like we see, the elderly as adopted by the UN are individuals in our society age 60 and above. Okay, and then health, there is an adopted, well encompassing definition that has to do with the social, mental, and physical well being of an individual, not just the absence of an infirmity or a disease. And so when we say elderly health, we're talking about the mental, physical well being, as well as the social well being of individuals in our society um, of age 60 years and above, although that age landmark is an objective benchmark. There are the details of old age, so to speak, may occur in some persons younger than 60, some from 50, as the case may be. But the point here is that just like you in your opening statement, there are peculiarities after this time or within this time that is why we are gathered, and the society needs to know, and we need to emphasize these peculiarities because these peculiarities demand some peculiar attention. And so that's the summary of what elderly health means. And the emphasis is on its difference relative to other group of individuals in our society.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. So I know you mentioned about the peculiarities. So what are the most common health issues faced by the older adults?
All right. So just like I said, these elderly people, um, the peculiarities are a result of so many changes that happen in our bodies, and they build over time to they build over time and tend to um, manifest as various diseases or various setbacks, as the case may be, um, as we age. And it cuts across everything, every aspect of physical, even mental and social interactions between with this people, this individual and other persons in the society. Um, commonly, commonly, if we look at the cardiovascular system, for instance, common examples of diseases associated with the elderly is that of hypertension, for instance.
Mm.
Okay, it's you hardly see hypertension in the young.
Yes.
Okay, even though there is a kind of hypertension in the young that is as a result of other causes, but it is not a disease of the young. So we see diseases like hypertension, even stroke, okay, which can be as a result of that, heart failure and all. And other diseases of the elderly, that is again emphasis on the fact that there are changes in the bodies that predisposes them to this. Um, example are disease such as diabetes, because of some hormonal changes and some uh, tolerance to a certain kind of chemical substance in the body. The diabetes is also a disease of the young, sorry, of the old, and these people predisposed to that. Okay, sometimes even cognitive function. Sometimes they have balance disorder, visual impairment. They are not able to see properly because even the brain cells, as we age, there are some, we lose some neurons, we lose some let me call in layman terms, some wires that transmit information. And so even the brain mass, it's a little reduced as we age. And so this affects how they even relate, they socialize, how they process information. Okay, so dementia, for instance, this one it deals directly with your brain. And so we see that these people, as they get older, they tend to forget some things, okay, not as they used to be, they are not as strong as they used to be mentally. This is actually because of these subtle changes that have occurred over time. And you can name it, even basically, I think about 50% of smell power of yes, a lot of elderly people, as they get older, they lose the sense of smell. Okay, and you see, I mean, it's just a stage of life where life gets slower, and then predisposes to so many things, which we've just highlighted. There are many others, and I think as we go on, we'll be able to, we hope we'll be able to point others. But basically, these are common issues that we see day to day as we go around our society. And it's important that people know this peculiarity and then how to perhaps handle these issues as they come up.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. So, another quick question just to follow up. So, why is elderly health care often overlooked in our society?
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Demi. It's I think it's a matter, honestly speaking, it's really a matter to me because you get to wonder, especially in an African society where we really do value the elderly. Okay, we really do value the elderly, but one major challenge first, we have to look at it from our cultural perspective. There are a lot of belief systems. There are a lot of things that makes us kind of see. There are places where if you are old, you are considered maybe a witch, or yes, there are places like that. So if you are old, you are seen as one of the persons who have replaced his or her life with other person's life, and also some of these beliefs and practices are really a matter, even though we actually do have some values that appreciate the elderly. Some of these belief system and behavior, they help, they serve as a hindrance to why we should look or pay more attention to the elderly. Other things, okay, the socioeconomic status or state of the country, okay, of the population, the society per time also affects how we deal with the elderly and their health. Sometimes I've seen situations where a relative is wishing that the old relative or the patient who happened to be an elderly in this case should just die of. I mean, it looks as if it's a burden. Okay, should just die of. And so not because they hate that relative, but they seem to, it's as though they don't have the finances, the money, everything needed, and it's more or less like a burden. Okay, so why continue with this burden? Why not pass on to the other side? So that is a matter. Other things, we don't have I think what we're doing right now is really beautiful, because the Nigerian society is not well enlightened. Okay, so the public awareness of what the elderly and how the elderly functions, why, it's not there. It's not, I mean, our public health system is not very, very optimal. It's not very, very functional. And so this is a big matter. And because you see how that for instance, an elderly person starts behaving irrationally. So I've had patients like that. They were not able to communicate properly, and it happens intermittently. And the relatives, those ones were even enlightened so that they were able to come to the hospital. But their concern was, could it be spiritual? Could it be, but they didn't know. If our healthcare publicity system is very, very optimal, people, before you live up to maybe your mid-20s, as the case may be, you would have been at least well informed that, look, these things can happen, and it is not witchcraft. It is not the way you other things. It could just be just normal process of old age. It comes with age, I know. So those are some of the things. And then I think that generally, again, still within the society and our beliefs and practices, the average Nigerian has a poor health-seeking behavior. Okay, we are quite audacious. We want to try things first. Before they go to the doctor, we do so many things. We self-medicate, we try, we put our hands in so many places, and then when it's not working, so these things they work hand in hand, and I think these are the greatest factors that combine to make us kind of neglect this very obvious issue around or before us, elderly health.
That's really good. Thank you so much, Doctor, for that answer to that question. Now, you mentioned before that as we grow older, certain tissues in our body, muscles, certain things just start to, go weak and all of that. Now, I want to ask, how important is nutrition in old age? Since the body no longer functions as it would, how important is nutrition in old age?
All right. Well, thank you very much. Nutrition it's said that you are what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is said so. And that statement is quite very, very true. Before the old age, because I think before I answer your question directly, I would like to build up from the early age, because the things we've highlighted at some point of our discussion is one of them is that some of the things that happen during this period of time of our lives, they are build-ups from when we were young.
Younger, yes.
Yes. Persistent or consistent negative build-up, some of them. Okay, for instance, someone who kept smoking and smoking and smoking, or is a chronic alcoholic, as the case may be, and some kind of food substances, the person kept at it and went on to the consistently until he or she is old. This eventually builds up as a risk factor for some certain kind of diseases or some certain kind of behavior, and it affects how our body reacts to the environmental stressors. Okay, so while we deal with the aged, as regards this question, it's important we understand that the issue behind nutrition is a build-up.
Yes.
It's a build-up, yes. And then when the man is old, because the body is not as tense, not as potent in dealing with stressors as it was before, it's important that we eat. Even if you were neglecting it before, it's important that this time you must yeah, you cannot, because your body cannot allow so many things. It's important that we eat very healthily. Okay, you cannot overemphasize it. For instance, let me pick an example. Somebody I told you that as we get older, for instance, there's something called impaired glucose tolerance.
Mm.
How our body deals with glucose. Glucose is usually the end product of carbohydrate food. When we eat some carbohydrate, that's the smallest molecule that the body uses to produce energy for us.
Mm.
So, but as we get older, how the body deals with this substance reduces. So the
Yes.
body begins to be lazy. So that is just natural. And then you are now old. It's only common and logical that you manage high carbohydrate diets. Like you're careful around things that will load your system with such high carbohydrate diet, because generally, whether or not you are diabetic, as you get older with age, your body system's ability to deal with glucose, for instance, depreciates.
Mm.
Okay, so it can't be overemphasized. When you are older, you must eat, even if you were playing around before, but this period you must deliberately eat healthily,
Okay.
and it's so important. Yes.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So you've mentioned how important it is for us to eat healthy as we grow older, especially in the old age. And don't just wait till you're older. Start building up from now that you're young. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Doctor. Now, for elderly people listening now, what are some of the foods that you suggest that are naturally healthy for elderly people?
All right. So basically, let me start with some of the food that are naturally unhealthy. Even though even though I would eventually say you consult a nutritionist, but generally there are some food substances that strains, again, like I said, emphasis strains our body system more. And this time, since we're a bit slower, we're a bit not so optimal in function relative to when we were young, we need to avoid those foods. So, for instance, or such practices, we take foods, for instance, like that are high in cholesterol. For example, um, let's take alcoholism for it. People take a lot. As an elderly person, you should refrain from that. You should refrain from food that have so much raw sugar. I think I pointed out that. And then there are other the good side. There are some food substances that contain a lot of vitamins, a lot of um, readily available substances that can help to, like, what do I call antioxidants. Okay,
Mm.
so your fruits and vegetables, they are beautiful. They are really, really wonderful for the elderly. Okay, and basically, I think we should not hit so far away. The original African food
Yes.
is actually good, really, really good. Apart from, as for the elderly, things like red meat, for instance, these ones, they contain so much of the bad cholesterol and the rest, and so you should try to avoid that. The junks around that we eat. Okay, when we say junk, there are a lot of foods that we eat that don't necessarily have, they are not balanced. Okay, they, like, let me not mention some things anyway, but they have so a very high percentage of some fat and oil, and there may be little vitamin, and no. As an elderly, you try to run away from such kind of food. And if there is apple, and then there is a carrot, for instance, and then there
Yeah.
is a big bowl of chicken and cake. Please go to the apple and go to the carrot. That's what I can say summarily.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor, for sharing that with us. We'll be right back shortly. This is Women Radio 91.7. It's 28 minutes past 10 o'clock, and you're listening to Radio Doctor.
You never sounded so sure.
Are you number 87? Okay, please wait. How many hours? have you wasted sitting in hospital queues just to see a doctor for 10 minutes? There's a smarter way. Introducing TeleDoc, your secure digital platform to consult verified doctors anytime, anywhere. With TeleDoc, you choose how you want care. Need something quick? Go for a quick consult. Just 10 minutes. Need more time? Book a full consult. 30 minutes of personalized care tailored just for you. No traffic, no crowded waiting rooms, no unnecessary delays. Simply book at your preferred time. Join a secure video call inside the app and speak directly with licensed doctors you can trust. Have medical records? Upload them easily before your consultation. From general health concerns to specialist advice, TeleDoc connects you to real doctors, real answers, real care. Download the TeleDoc app today on Google Play Store and Apple Store.
Here we go.
3, 1, 1. For nobody locked. WFM 91.7.
You're welcome back. This is still Women Radio 91.7, and you're still listening to Radio Doctor. My name is Finfolua Kirami, and I'm here with Dr. Egot. I don't want to mispronounce that name, but you're welcome, Doctor. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Okay, okay. So I think you've answered those questions beautifully, but I think one question I also want to ask, since we're talking about elderly health today, is I've seen a lot of times, especially in Africa, when people begin to grow older, it means that their children are also getting older, and their children are now, some are in diaspora, some they're in another city entirely. So the way we grew up, everybody is in the house shouting, playing, stop that, don't do that. Now they are older, the kids they've traveled, gotten married, they're married, they have children. Now it's just you and yourself as the elderly person in the house. And many of them, at times, they are lonely. Well, even if they call their kids, they'll be like, Mommy, I'm busy, I'm at work, So I want to ask, can loneliness or mental health issues affect the overall well-being of elderly people?
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for pointing out that, because for every growing family, there is that end stage of the family growth and structure where all the children are out of the home, and it's as though the family is now back to how it started, the husband
yes.
and the wife, just that now they've lost that agility and all. Okay, so, and they've built a lot of memories that they sometimes crave for. All right, unfortunately, the memories will not be there all the time again. So yes, loneliness it's a great deal. You see, when the definition was adopted, how that this is not just merely the absence of an infirmity or a disease condition, that the person has to be mentally, physically, as well as also socially stable. It's very, it goes a whole lot to explain that, look, this thing we talk about or we call health, the mental aspect is very, very important.
It is.
And so for a family as that, the truth is, even how the elderly process loneliness is different. And so it's a great deal. It's a big matter. It's a big matter in itself. And it's important that we're actually talking about it, because some persons don't understand that that your mother that is calling you at that time is not really calling you. Even if he's calling you, sometimes they call and they just want to hear you. But
they just want to say something.
They just want to, because a whole lot is going on in their minds. That we talked about how that even the brain cell, in a way, the brain mass is a bit reduced in the elderly. A lot of neurons are lost. The way they process the whole situation now is a matter. And it eventually gives us a lot of responsibility. It puts on the young and even the elderly a lot of responsibility, because
Yes.
at this point they try to crave. Okay, some of them would have lost some memories, but now there are a lot of memories that you can't even lose. You would never lose them, no matter how. If you lose them, you are dead. Like, it's
Mm.
only the dead that loses all memory. Okay, some of these memories are beautiful, and at this time they try to recall and
Keep them. Yes.
um, align with those memories, and so they are not there. They're trying to get worse, or it affects them negatively. And a lot of elderly people, one of their problems is depression. Okay, so they come down with mental illnesses, they start getting depressed. And in fact, let me just say this in passing. The one of the reasons a lot of persons live longer than the others, it's not necessarily genetic makeup. It's actually the care they have around themselves at this time of their life. Okay, so it does. It's a really, really big matter, and it should not be neglected. It's something
Mm.
that must be attended to. And so if my mom, for instance, let me come personal, calls
Mm.
me, and then she just wants to hear me, I just, no matter what, I have to pick, because I have to give that attention there. It's a big matter, and we need to look into it. It's there. It's really a problem, and it drags a lot of people into mental trouble. So many, so many.
Hmm. That's really serious. Thank you so much, Doctor. Dimladi, over to you.
Okay, doctors, for someone who may want personalized advice beyond today's discussion, how can they take the next steps?
All right. So I think one of the reasons we are up here is so that you can have or create an opportunity for such a person to have access to doctors, professionals who take the necessary step, or at least engineer them into taking the necessary steps to improve their health. Um, for such a person, first of all, my counsel will be, we're up here, all right? If going to, like we're available, teledoc is doing a wonderful job, and we're up here. However, because in our society now, sometimes you go out to the physical hospital out there, as it were, like, and it's difficult to get a doctor. You can always reach out to doctors online. You can always meet, yeah, physically you can always meet doctors. But the goal here is that there is a high need to meet doctors, or to meet an expert to guide you properly, because even though we've spoken generally, there are some peculiarities. Individuals differ from one another, and so until you meet someone out there, you we might not miss, or we might miss those dots at the
Yes.
consent. So please seek medical attention. That I can say from
Thank
trusted.
you, doctor. Thank you, doctor. You can consult Dr. Egot and other verified doctors securely on Teledoc from the comfort of your home. All you just need to do is download the Teledoc app, search for the doctor's name, Dr. Igor Opechi, and book at your preferred time so you can discuss further.
All right. Thank you so much, Jimmy Ladi, for that. You're still listening to Radio Doctor on Women Radio 91.7. And this particular episode is powered by Teledoc. Like we mentioned before, Teledoc allows you to book your preferred time, join a secured video consultation. So it's secure. Nobody's going to know what you discussed with the doctor that consults with you. Then you upload your medical records before speaking with the doctor, and then you would receive prescription digitally right there on the spot. The healthcare has been made simple and very, very secure with Teledoc. The phone lines are now open. You can now call in if you have any questions for Dr. Egot. You want to ask your questions. You need clarity on any particular issue. If you have any questions about caring for older people, you have elderly people around you, or maybe questions related to managing age-related conditions, or maybe improving quality of life in old age, this is the best time to calling now. You can call the number 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. You can also call 09155 917 917 to ask your questions this morning. Dr. Egot is here, ready to take your questions, ready to answer your questions relating to elderly health, elderly matters. You can call in. We'll take your questions now. And for detailed and private consultations, like I said before, you can book an appointment with verified doctors on the TeleDoc app. You can either book a 10 minutes consultation, that's a quick consultation, or a full session goes for 30 minutes. And you can do that as well. The phone lines, once again, 07000 917 917 07000 917 917 to ask your questions this morning. Demilade, what other questions would we like to ask the doctor on behalf of those who are listening right now that, just listening to learn one or two things concerning elderly health?
Yes, doctor. All right, doctor. So, what are some of the warning signs that an elderly person may need urgent medical attention?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let me just say this softly. One of the warning signs is that we're getting older. So as you get older, all right, you know why I have to go that way is that first, we don't necessarily have to wait until some signs and symptoms are coming up before you begin to seek medical attention. Okay,
Yes.
so as we get older, it's a sign in itself, okay, that we should seek um, medical attention. It means you're not as you used to be. Okay, so old age is a blessing, but it comes with some challenges also. Okay, and so that. Secondly, just to be more specific, um, basic signs that you just notice, okay, you're beginning to urinate so much more than you used to do before. It's important that you don't just say, okay, I'm getting old. Sometimes even the old age, we bury everything inside of it. Yeah, I'm getting old. It happens like that. It happened to my father. And but your father eventually died. You just say it happened to my father, and then I think it's in the blood. No, please go see a doctor. Come see a doctor. So you're beginning to urinate so much, you're beginning to drink so much water, and your vision is not as strong as it used to be. Yes, it's okay. You can say it is tied to old age, but it can be improved. Okay, so you notice you are not able to walk, and keep a steady balance as you used to be, or as you used to, or you notice your body starts shaking involuntarily. These are these are all tell signs of all that are associated to your aging, and so you don't have to wait. Okay, while a lot of changes with age are quite insignificant, like, okay, let me say, for example, we begin to grow gray hair as we get older. That's not a big deal. It doesn't have any health implication per se.
Yeah.
But there are other things. Okay, you notice, for example, you began losing so much weight. Okay, you're losing, yeah, weight. You are losing so much weight that within 1 month you are already looking somehow. Yes, even in the young, it's important. But for you as an elderly, sometimes we just think that it's old age. No, please, it might not just be old age. Please go see the doctor. All right. Or you began having some persistent headache that no, it's not all old age. All right. So those are some of the things. Chest pain. This chest pain that keeps coming and going, or your heart starts beating so fast, as if they are pursuing you. Okay, or as if you are afraid. You sit down and you feel your heart beating so fast. Please, important that you go see your doctor. And or you notice you easily get stressed out physically. Okay, so that you walking from the bathroom to your bedroom is a matter.
Mm.
You tend to start struggling to breathe. These are issues that you should not say it's because you are old. It's something that can be looked into more holistically. It might not be just a healthy old age, let's say it that way in itself. Okay, so
Yes.
I think it's something. All of these are issues that needs to be taken not lightly. Also, whether or not these signs are there, like I said again, as you get older, it's important we have um, our health-seeking behavior should increase. Okay, the our quest to want to know the state of our health should increase, and I counsel that we have routine medical checkups. Okay, so we don't necessarily have to wait until you are. So if in case you are listening, someone is listening, and we've mentioned a lot. Some persons are blessed such that they are 70 and they still have some relative agility. Okay, yeah, and then the person is beginning to feel, I am okay, I'm fine. It's okay. We thank God for that gift of strength and all, but there is still a need. Okay, there's still a need to consult the doctor for your holistic, because it's not only about physical, your physical looks, it's also about your mental and social well-being, because some of these things are very subtle. They are very, very so much in the back, and then we neglect even. Sometimes we think they don't matter. They don't matter, so we just continue. We while growing up, then we have some of our elderly people then who they tend, they sit and sigh a lot.
Mm.
Yes, the silo, the seeds, sometimes in the villages there's this habit of taking codeine, or is it codeine, right? The snuff. And so they keep taking it and they are sighing. When I grew older and I became a doctor, I understood that, look, this thing. Then we were looking at it as if it was normal. We
No.
play,
Mm.
we play around it, and somehow we even desire to be like them because yes, we want to, but no, these things are not normal. There's a whole lot of issues in the mind, and because of their state, they are not even strong enough to process these things properly, and it also affects them. I think nothing should be taken lightly when you are old.
That's very true. Thank you so much, doctor, for that. Dim Lady, do you have more questions for the doctor?
Yes, I actually wanted to ask with regard to dementia and memory loss.
Mm.
So are there like any early signs that people should look out for in such
Ye-
situations?
Yes, it's like I said, it's a matter in itself, because I mean, who doesn't want to remember beautiful memories? Okay, um, yeah,
Mm.
it's something that we want to stay with, die with. Okay, so there are early signs. There are early signs, though the average human being does not necessarily remember everything, but then there are some basic things that we should not forget. Okay, so I I came in here today and I took my bath. I did my morning normal routines, and
Mm.
and so if someone asked me if I took my bath this morning, I should be able to remember, and it should not stress me. It shouldn't be a difficult thing for me to
Yes.
tell that, yeah, that I did, and I did this, I did that. Okay, these are basic information. So when people begin to notice, okay, I kept my knife here while I was making, maybe you're in the kitchen,
Mm.
you're making some food, and you just notice you tend to forget where you kept most of your items, basic things that you really need. And it wasn't like this before. You tend to forget them more. It could be a sign, okay? It's something you should not just um, sweep under the carpets, okay? So it's those are signs. You just notice, okay, um, you are with your phone, for example, in your hand. Even at this point, it's even looking a bit more serious. But I'm trying to point at some basic information such as that. Okay, and then you can't remember that you are with the phone until you see it. Okay, so these are little signs that we should not just play around with. It's just because our brain power is kind of dwindling. I'm talking about the elderly at the time, and so it's important that we take it seriously. Don't I mean, some of these things, as it involves dementia, for those involved, they usually notice something is changing. They usually would notice, yeah, because even no matter how, it's just the problem is that the elderly, we tend to sweep it and just say it is old age.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yes, that it is normal. It is normal. Yeah, it is old age, but it is not all normal. Okay, so because I remember growing up, a lot of elderly persons, when they forget a thing, they try to play it down. They'll say, no, and then the for the young, they tell you, what are you thinking? Why are you forgetting this kind of? You should not. They think it's all about thinking, and so, and that it is what makes them forget so many things in their mind. It is not always that. It's not always that, because there are some basic things that the mind is so wired in such a way that it cannot forget. It cannot forget. So you can imagine, no matter how mad in quote or mentally ill a person is, he still tries to eat. He still wants to find a way to put. So that information is so strong inside our mind that it's almost impossible for the person to forget that they have not eaten, or these are some information. They imagine the person starts struggling to whether he or she has eaten 2 times today, or it's a thing.
That's a serious issue.
Yeah. Yeah, so at this point the person it's beginning to be serious, and then the person find it hard to remember a lot of things, and then it
Yes.
progresses to where even the children can recognize the faces. They don't you have to tell the person some very strong things that happened time past before that kind of make
Remember.
one or two together. Yes. Okay, so at that point the person starts even if some people get so bad that they don't even recognize. That's the worst, like that's the really, really bad, the worst end of it. They don't remember even their names, don't remember who they are, where they've been. But it starts with basic things like, okay, the I think it's quite individualized, because I'm trying to point so many things, but the bottom line is that for those who are truly involved in it, like who are beginning to have these symptoms, they know. I begin to see, I don't remember things. Okay, when I read, for instance, I don't remember as much as I used to be. There are a lot of factors that can actually affect how we assimilate, how we remember things. But
Yes.
you just notice it's a very consistent thing, and it's affecting other aspects um, of your life. And so you will know. I'm saying, okay, let me say this from even a personal perspective. My mom, and she should be, she's 59 now. Okay, so she noticed herself that she tends to forget. Now, these are basically two things, like when she drops her phone here, but for her, she understands that, look, this forgetfulness is too much. It's still, yeah, it is too much. And so she raises a concern. And so when I took her to see, okay, I sent her because she's not with me here, to see a doctor. The she was properly attended to, and then that matter, when she was asked that question, it wasn't the difficult thing for her, because she to make a case from it, because she has it's been a burden. Okay, so for those who are truly involved, they know because you just keep seeing the signs. It's there. It doesn't just come. It's just that the problem is we don't think that it's a problem enough. We just think it's normal. It's not.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Our time is fast spent this morning already. Well, thank you so much for all the answers that you gave to our questions. We say a very big thank you. You're listening to Women Radio. We're talking about elderly health this morning, and I hope you've learned one or two things from the conversation. A big thank you to Dr. Egot Ogbechi for today's free consultation and advice on elderly health. I think I finally got it right.
You did. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. If you ever want to speak to Dr. Egot anytime, you can download the TeleDoc app. You can book a consultation, 10 minutes or 30 minutes for the full session. Choose your preferred time, speak securely via video, and upload your medical records, and you will receive prescription right there on the TeleDoc app. Thank you so much for listening. To those who called, we couldn't pick. Thank you so much for calling as well. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Friday, by 10 a.m. on Women Radio 91.7. Radio Doctor is Nigeria's first specialized radio health program, broadcast on Women Radio Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Join us again tomorrow morning for another edition. A big thank you to the producer, Aisha Sani, and to my executive producer, Tom Okiwale Shonaya. My name is Finfolua Akiremi.